Seamus, thank you very much for the invitation to DPF Engineering, Carlow, Ireland. Now, we like innovation, but what I really want to know about is you've got some fantastic machine tools, a linear line here. We're here on behalf of GROB today, but before we talk about this investment and the aerospace market that you're really hunting business from, tell us a little bit about DPF Engineering.
Yeah, so DPF was founded in 2010. We initially started supplying the local medtech markets. We got some opportunities then in aerospace in 2013, 2014, and we saw a nice opportunity there. So we've spent time in installing quality systems, getting the correct accreditations, focusing our sales activities on aerospace industry, and we've opened up some nice opportunities, which has led to us being able to invest in high-end equipment, 5-axis equipment, automatic loading systems, and it's really an area that we see a lot of growth potential for the future for us, for DPF.
And when you look at the aerospace market, certainly it's a global market as we know, but if you didn't invest in this type of machine tools and the automation, could you be competitive?
I don't think on a global scale you couldn't be competitive. You need to be utilising that spindle 24/7 where possible. Also, parts are becoming a lot more complex. Some of these aerospace parts have very few square surfaces, flat surfaces, so you're having to utilise your 5-axis machines. If you can combine that with some automatic loading, you're giving yourself a real advantage over people who are manually loading machines on maybe inferior machines or machines with less access.
And when you look at the machine tool market, GROB are very well known in other marketplaces, but tell me a little bit about the journey, why you actually chose the GROB machines, the G350s.
Yeah, I believe we're the first company in Ireland to have the GROB machines. I myself, I have a big interest in machining. I'm from a machining background originally. So I've seen GROBs at different events and shows for the last 4 or 5 years. That said, we did look at all the options when we were doing all our research for this particular system, but still GROB stood out to me on a couple of fronts. It's the machine functionality, it's that horizontal setup, it's the swarf evacuation, it's the power in the spindle, but also the fact that GROB is coming from an automotive background where the machines are running in a 24/7 environment and running reliably. That was a real selling point for us also.
It's a big USP for GROB, isn't it? Machining basically upside down, it's very unique, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. It looks great, and it just doesn't look great. It works, all that swarf evacuation, you're not recutting your chips. But also I think it's a more rigid setup. I think you're able to get into that part and hit it a little bit harder and remove a bit more material a bit quicker. And the GROB itself is pretty high tech. It's able to process that data pretty quickly. So all in all, the machine is a very high performing machine.
And recently you've had this commission, obviously you're running a lot of work on it now, you're profiling yourself for more aerospace work, but I suppose this is just the phase one, isn't it? Because you could buy larger machines from GROB, couldn't you, for future-proofing yourself even more?
Absolutely. We've got to know GROB now, we're very happy with the machines. Where we're standing, we've room to extend in this direction, so we've room for another 3 machines, and they could be larger or smaller machines. Again, the pallet system gives us flexibility to load different machines of different sizes, so we are future-proof from that point of view also.
And I think with automation as well, there is skill shortages worldwide, not just in Ireland, I'm sure, but I presume this is another reason to go down the path, not to be only be competitive, but also from a skill shortage.
Absolutely, yeah. So I think it's industry-wide where it's a skill shortage is a problem. The logic we're taking is we're going to try retain the good people we have and really upskill them to a high level. Have them operating on good equipment, manufacturing very high quality parts, and again just give them that extra bit of a skill level, pay them a bit more, and it kind of makes it attractive for clever engineers to come and work for us.
And tell me a little bit about the collaboration between GROB and EROWA. Has that been quite an interesting and fruitful relationship to get exactly what you need?
Yeah, it's been pretty easy, to be honest. It was totally our decision on what machines and what pallet systems we wanted to go with. And once that decision was made, we just brought everybody together. these guys have a knowledge of each other, and they've worked on similar projects in different companies, and that again was a nice attractive point, that each company knew each other's technology. So the integration was a lot simpler than you'd imagine, even though we were dealing with two different companies.
So when you look at the investment that you've got here, I'm sure you're actively knocking on the aerospace doors at the moment. Basically, have you got capacity, and what type of work are you looking for?
Yeah, absolutely. If you look at the theory of 8,760 hours of spindle hours per machine, we have loads of capacity at the moment. We are actively looking for work. This particular cell and these particular machines are designed for parts in the 400 to 500 cubic size, and we're really interested in hard metals. The machine again is specified and spec'd up to machine hard metals, and the pallet loader, the load capacity on the pallet loader allows us to load pretty heavy billets of hard metal.
And I suppose once you've proved that to companies that are outsourcing aerospace components, there's room to grow as well.
Absolutely. As I touched on earlier, we've room to expand this particular line in a direction. We can expand by another 150% here, depending on how fast the work comes in and how quick we can process it. But I think we've put ourselves in a good position because we have the equipment, we believe we have the people, and they're getting the skills, and we have the pallet loader to load the machine. So I think the package is coming together. So yeah, things are looking good for the future.
Well, talking about the future, I'd love to come back here again and hopefully see a few more machines.
Hopefully, yeah. All going well.